Okay, so every year, Ebony Magazine, Johnson & Johnson publication, they publish a piece called Bachelorettes of that particular year. So, and the women get together and they talk about what they want in a minute. So this is a Bachelorettes 2009. You must be dependable, hard-driving, and normally ambitious. Quiet, yet dominant, who wants the better things in life. Must have a good business mind and be professionally motivated. Must love children and be gentle and tolerant. Must be considerate and supportive to my wants and needs. And I want my man to be a good friend and a good end. Honey, I want mine to be extraordinarily qualified, gifted, if you know what I mean. He must have USDA grade A prime cut tube steak, preferably 10 inches or more. I want mine to strive to realize his immense potential at least 3 times a day. Self-starting, drop-dead sex, a brilliant mind, a body by God, and the whole world for an oyster. Qualifications for love. Wanted, Superman. Yeah! Okay, this is the most hated poem in the history of poetry.
Read it.
It is called
Pussy.
Bonfile Space, The Final Frontier.
Yeah, I heard of that one.
Yeah.
It's twisted.
Lately, I've become obsessed with the term middle age. I cannot with certainty even say what it is or why I should be obsessed with such an ill-defined term. Definitively, I suppose it is the period between young age and old age, but that doesn't really define it, at least not to me. How about post-menopausal vagina atrophy? You buy that? You ever try to teach English to a foreigner? I bet you're scared of this one too. The futility of my latest obsession stuns even me. It is not middle age that I'm obsessed with, that is only the canvas. My obsession is with sex, or lack of sex, absence of sex. I'm scared to death of becoming asexual. One thing I love more than anything is pussy. I think that pussy is the best thing on the planet. It's not an endangered species. There are no groups of people marching in parades like with the whales with signs reading "Save the Pussy." Pussy is better than hope, money, wisdom, or a drink. It is the single most thing offered in such a variety. There's black pussy, white pussy, Asian pussy. There's wife pussy, girlfriend pussy, and mistress pussy. There's well-known pussy, well-worn pussy, and well-used pussy. There's wife pussy, mistress pussy, girl co-ed pussy. And I'm thinking, wouldn't this be a great idea for the shelf? To think that I could go to the grocery, submit my debit card, and buy the pussy of my liking. I mean, is this a great idea or what? Maybe I'm just obsessed with my obsessions, but I don't think so. Anyway, I can't say what kind of pussy is best, but I've had some pretty choice pussy in my time. My young friend, he's 19, says, "There ain't no pussy like downtown pussy, you know that." I ask him why, and he says, "Because downtown pussy fucks back. You ain't gotta tell them whole shit." Goes on to say that uptown pussy ain't shit either. But we still have middle-aged pussy, acronym MAP, M-A-P, to contend with here. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. My obsession with MAP, middle-aged pussy, has welcomed the return of an old friend from my youth, masturbation. This, I think, completes the cycle. More madness, more memory, more misery, more masturbation. I'm imagining mobile adult bookstores with specimen jars right inside the booth and donor bonuses like at the blood banks. Is this a great idea or what? Let's proceed. Follow me. I am lonely, very lonely. I can't remember anymore if I used drugs because I was lonely or I was lonely because I used drugs. I won't ask what you think, I know. I now have a cellular telephone, my pocket-sized New Testament. I asked a guy at Bible study about the Old Testament, but he told me that he didn't know anything about the Old Testament and that it wasn't important anyway. Just read the New. That sounded like claptrap, dribble from a man who could only extrapolate on wife pussy. But I accept it, because now I'm thinking that all this wonderful pussy has contributed to my misery, to my obsessions. So now I call God day or night on my cellular phone. When I get low or run out of stuff, I can just turn the page and get another blast. One dope man and one dope. Still, I am unhappy. Last night, my wet dream was interrupted by a Star Trek nightmare. I woke up sweating, I think, and trying to fight off a horribly ugly monster coming out of the mouth of the Admiral. The monster's pincers were coming, yes, coming, out of the mouth of the Admiral and at me. And I didn't hesitate, whipping out my enormous weapon and shooting, breaking the thing into a million pieces. The biggest part, the entity, took off screaming like a banshee, tearing a huge hole into the hull of my ship. For a moment, I thought I would be sucked off into space with it. I'm imagining what a monstrous nut being sucked off by explosive decompression would be. But nothing happened. It was several hours before I could sleep again. When you're dreaming, the concept of feeling comes into your mind generally. Then the brain generates an appropriate kaleidoscope of visual imagery. I was feeling, not with my hands, but with my heart. How awful it is that you can never stop feeling. Come and laugh with me. I'm a child of God who thought it wonderful to be a clown without feelings. Feelings, the clown. Last night, after the dream sequence, I met Lydia, my dream woman, for coffee. We talked a while and laughed at my foolishness, and then we went home. And this middle-aged pussy thing phenomenon would go on for many years, Earth years. Still, as soon as we were inside the door to my flat, we started fucking like buddies. Sweet sex. Thank you. Okay, I would like to do one more. Is that okay? I'll be shot.
Shooting.
I'm going to risk shooting.
Shot. I got a shot for you.